Okay, so last night did finish watching the first episode of Symphogear GX. So now that I've actually officially seen the episode, I can officially talk about it. So let me just talk about the first 6 minutes and how fucking glorious they are. So it starts off in headquarters. And then the thing you hear a little later in the episode, they are no longer called Section 2, which I completely forgot that was even their name. They are now referred to as Song, S-O-N-G. I don't remember if they said what that stands for. If they did, I didn't quite catch it or it didn't stick out to me. I'm like, Song, music, got it. That's a catchy name. I like that as the name of just the squad. So, they get word that because in the previous episode, Mom had been blasted off into the moon. They found her, and there was a rocket sent into space, like a space shuttle kind of thing, to go get her body, take it back to the planet. But the space shuttle is out of control. Some shit went wrong, and they're gonna like crash into the Earth. So Song gets orders to do something about it. So they hit the button, launch a missile into space. The guys on the space shuttle are like, oh shit, they're sending a missile at us. They're gonna blow us out of the sky. Well, all things being honest, can't even be that mad at them. We're out of control. We might like crash. We might hurt some people. We might kill some people. It might be better for them to just take the two of us and Mama Bear over here just take us out. And then Sub says something. I don't remember what she said, but she says some shit. The missile opens, and it's just the three magical girls just sitting in the missile. So Chris immediately just summons two big-ass fucking rockets. Beaky is on one, Subs is on the other, and then they just launch themselves onto the space shuttle. So then, I'm not exactly sure what they did, like, they did something to kind of stabilize it. So they've stabilized this shuttle and are essentially able to drive it. So it's now in the, by the way, they're singing the entire time. So they literally get sent into the vacuum of space on a missile and are able to sing in the vacuum of space because Symphogear, of course they fucking can. It's wonderful. So they're now all on the space shuttle, and the space shuttle is going toward a mountain. Chris did not blow up the mountain. I had seen that wrong. Again, like when I had seen it, it was just kind of, here's a bit of a scene, a couple dudes reacting, and then back to the scene a bit, so I didn't quite see everything. So what happens is she just jumps onto like Beaky's face and almost like bear hugs her, shoots a bunch of missiles at the mountain, and is like, Beaky, fucking punch it. Okay, so she just goes and punches the mountain. Like, okay, so you know that shit with a tablecloth where if you pull it out fast enough, you can take the tablecloth off without knocking, like any of the cups or silverware or dishes off? That's basically what they do with a mountain. Just go through the center of it hard enough and fast enough that it just falls back like nothing happened, and they make it safely. So then the space shuttle like crashes onto the ground, but is still skidding, and they're going through a forest. So of course Subs just gets a big fucking sword and starts cleaving through the forest. They're still not okay, so I think before that happens, they're going through like a canyon after the forest, so Beaky just starts punching the shit out of the canyon walls, not only getting rid of the rubble, but it almost seems like she's steering the space shuttle, like, okay, then they turn a little bit, ah shit, and they turn a little bit. And then as they're going, there's a village in the way, so of course Beaky just jumps off the space shuttle, and then just like digs her heels and then she's trying to like slow it down, and it's not immediately crushing her because this girl is a god. They're just like tearing up the middle part of this village, but there's no houses in the way. It's like it's basically like a nice clean runway, but people are trying to get the fuck out. The rubble everywhere now. They're about to hit a building. So you know that shit they do in Scotland? I can't remember what it's called, where the guy will like hold the tree, waddle up, and then throw the tree, and it goes like flying, and it's like actually super fucking badass that they can do it. So she kind of does that, but instead of shooting the spaceship up, she just kind of throws it over her head. So the space shuttle, she just flings it overhead. It's Like, right, it's really close to the top of the thing. It's maybe not quite going to clear the building. So the dude on the spaceship fires it up a little bit to give it that extra boost, melting part of the building, and then it just lands straight up. Oh, there was also a part, I think it's when they're about to hit the mountain, where one of the dudes in the space shuttle's like, dude, we're fucked. We are so fucked. We are about to die. We're about to crash. Holy crap. And the other dude's like, hey, can you hear them singing? Can you hear that song? That is a fucking song of hope. We are going to make it. And then, yeah, and then, like, that happened about in the middle. And then, yeah, they... the fucking spaceship flip, dude. It was wonderful. There was just so many cool, goofy things that happened. Like, that, I think that's why these first 6 minutes to me are peak Symphogear. Because any one of these little things, them being shot out of a missile, them just like riding on rockets, blowing up the mountain, punching the canyon walls, and then like flipping up the space shuttle, any one of those individually would have been just like, that's a great fucking Symphogear moment. That's some funny shit. I gotta clap, I gotta laugh, maybe rewind it. The fact that that all happened in one set piece is glorious. The season 1 climax, the season 2 climax, as nutty as that shit was not as good as this. To me, this beats the Tower of Babel moon laser, and we're only at the start of the 3rd season. Holy shit. This first episode, I can't even, like, the rest of the episode, good shit. We'll talk about it in a second. But these first 6 minutes are so fucking goated. Like, I don't know if the show can top this. Apparently it does, because every season gets better. How does this shit get topped? I didn't think the moon laser could be topped. Somehow it did. And there's still, like, 40 episodes. Well, actually, hold up. 13 episodes a pop. So I have 12, 13, and 13. So that's 26. 26 plus 12, that's 38. So not quite 40 episodes, but approximately another 40 episodes to go. And I maybe just hit peak. Maybe I'm only at like halfway up the mountain and the peak is somewhere else. I can only hope that literally the last episode, the series finale of what is it, like AXV or some shit, is the best moment of the show, and it just ends on the most glorious high note possible. So, talking about the rest of the episode, it's a little bit after that, you get the song name, so this is a thing that's established. Akka and Suku are now going to high school with the girls. They're basically dating, like, there's a scene where they're just holding hands. They're like, guys, it's, like, super hot. Why are you holding hands? Well, I mean, her hand is really cold. Oh, her biceps really cold. You just starts, I think Suku just like squishing Akka's bicep. And I'm like, okay, like they're just a couple. And then immediately after, Miku's like, let me try that with Piki. I'm like, oh, that's right. You two are also a couple. And then Chris just starts blushing and it's like, can you guys stop? Please stop this. We're in public. Which I can kind of read in one of two ways. Way number one is, please, like, this is not the time and place for it. I don't want to have to see your PDAs, like, right in front of me. This is just, please stop. The other version is just, Tsubasa isn't here, and if Tsubasa was here, I could have someone that could pinch my bicep. If, like, don't do this in front of me, I'm missing my girl. Which I don't really know if they're a thing, but there was almost a little bit of it at the end of G, so my headcanon at this point is that Chris and Subs are kind of a thing, maybe about to be a thing, but we'll see. Speaking of which, so Subs and Maria are doing, I don't know if they're necessarily doing a world tour, but they are doing a concert. I don't remember if that was in Japan. I think it was abroad. I might have just missed that. Of course, the concert's fucking great. Good song, good performance. Essentially what's going on with Maria is officially she has been heralded as like she's the savior of the world. Because, you know, she gave that big broadcast. She did the Spirit Bomb song where she was singing for the whole world and everyone like resonated with her and shit. She is a war hero, damn it. But the governments and shit know she was also a fucking terrorist. And it's like, you still did a lot of bad shit. You still did a lot of sus shit. So tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. You are going to be an idol. You are going to sing. You're going to perform. You're going to raise morale. And that's great because the alternative is fucking prison. Okay? Okay. There's a line. I don't remember who said it, but it was said something along the lines of like, man, she really is an idol. Like, she is being, like, treated as an object to be revered as a god by the people, by, like, people manipulating behind the scenes. Something like that. I thought was actually a pretty cool line. What else happens? You see this little kid with a box running away from people, and I don't know who that is yet. Then there was a woman who was fucking shit up with coins, which, as someone who's been reading Mistborn, I'm like, okay, this appeals to me greatly. I fucking love this. Maria gets attacked by this other lady who kissed a dude and the dude died. So it's like, okay, so she's got poison ivy powers. Got it. Another dude starts shooting her and she summons a bunch of tornadoes which deflect the bullets and kill the dude. Which is like, okay, that's some also, like, not peak Symphogear. Like, that's some fun Symphogear goofy shit. So this episode was cooking. Just some of that girl's movements were very doll marionette-like, and I was like, that's fucking cool. She has a pretty cool fight with Subs, who does her, like, dual-wield sword catch-on-fire shit, which just looked gorgeous. What else happened? There's a fire. Beaky goes to save people in the fire, which just amounts to her punching the walls open, like, hey, I made an exit, go. She saves a kid, which... like, she finds a kid, saves the kid, there's rubble that falls on her, and then it cuts to her jumping in the air with her leg, like, right here next to her head. I can't do that, I am not that flexible. And she's just, like, 50 feet in the air with the moon at her back. And, like, that was a really cool shot. I liked that a lot. And then not long after that, there was a kid dressed up like a like a witch, like the big pointy hat, the kind of over-the-top dress. I think they said her name was Carol, who I know is the main antagonist of Season 3, but I don't really know anything about her. But she kind of has a stage magician getup, which is pretty fucking cool. And she says some shit about how, like, we gotta destroy the world and, like, kill miracles. And the name of the episode is called, like, Murderer of a Miracle, which, pretty metal fucking name. I really like the name of this episode. I don't know if I like it as much as Shoot the Moon for how... I remember when I first saw that title, I was like, this... So, I think I said this too, it was like this, like, shoot for the moon, super, like, a motivation, like, no, literally, she is trying to shoot the moon. I'm sorry, I fucking love episode 11 of season 1 so much. Episode 1 of season 3, this has been my favorite episode of the show so far. Like, the first 6 minutes, it's the best episode. Shoot the Moon is up there. Like, it was so good. It was so nutty. Do I really have anything else to say? Okay, I think the only other thing to say was I did notice, like, there was another new transformation sequence from Beaky. I'm assuming everyone else is going to get one as well. It looks better than the one in season 2, which looked better than the one in season 1. The show just really does seem to visually look better with every season. Whenever there's music, the music's always really fucking good. I'm on board, man. I can't say that I'm hooked. It's not like, oh man, I'm just watching this out of obligation. Like, I'm having fun. I'm very clearly having fun watching it. But to me, it's not like the story and characters are so strong and so interesting that I've got to see what's going to happen next. Maybe in this season that will change. Maybe one of the later seasons that will change. It's never gotten to that for me. Although I've been like, yeah, like there's some stuff that's interesting. I want to see where it's going to go, but I'm not like, man, I gotta. I just have a lot of free time, so it's easy to get episodes in. But I am still having a lot of fun watching it. I'm definitely going to watch a few episodes later, and if they're anything like the first 6 minutes, or just anything at all like this first episode, Season 3 is on pace to being the best season. And so, I'll see you next time I see you, which very well might be with another episode or 2, or maybe even 3 of GX.